How you doing, everybody? Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is on this Mapex Armory Exotic 5-piece shell pack. Well, I'm a very happy person today because Sweetwater is now selling Mapex drums. I've had a long history with this drum brand. A lot of my professional career has been played on Mapex drums, from the records I've made with my band Spock's Beard and my Tears for Fears tours and so on. They're really great drums with a lot of cool features. So let's get to the details of this particular kit right now. All right, first off, let's talk about the color. I don't usually talk about the colors first in my drum videos. I usually leave that for last, but this one just has a killer finish. Ultramarine gloss. You can really see the wood grain underneath this really beautiful light blue, sort of fades into a natural wood color. Gorgeous looking drums. The shells on these drums, the toms and the kick drum, are a combination of maple and birch. The maple is the core of the shell and sandwiched on either side by the birch wood. What that does is you get a nice natural kind of warm tone from the maple, and birch really gives you the crack and the projection. All right, the sound of the toms: 10 by 8 inch rack tom, 12 by 9 inch rack tom, and a 16 by 16 inch floor tom. Here we go. Nice fat tone. Now I have the kit outfitted with some Aquarian drum heads. On the toms, they're clear response to a 2-ply head, sort of similar to a Remo Emperor or say an Evans G2. And when you get these drums out of the box, you're going to get a single-ply coated head, which will give you nice attack and nice crack. But I thought these drums sounded really great with a 2-ply head. Now let me play the sound of these toms with the snare wires on so you can hear a little bit of the snare buzz in the background. Really punchy, fat, and warm tone. That birch wood in the shell really projects, and you get really distinct sound, but nice, very musical tone as well. All right, now let's get down to the kick drum. It's a 22 by 18. I have outfitted this kick drum with an Aquarian Super Kick 1, and what that is a clear head with a felt ring around the whole outside, and that's the only dampening I have on this drum. It's a really cool drum head to do that kind of thing, so you don't have to put a blanket or a little pillow or anything like that. This really dampens up the drum just nicely. So here we go. Snare wires off, 22 by 18 inch kick drum. Feels good, low end punch, projects forward and back towards me, the player. So that's very nice. Let's put the snare wires on and do the same thing for you. Again, nice, beefy, and fat. Okay, now we're going to get to the snare drum that comes with this 5-piece shell pack. And I have some really cool details and news to share with you after I play this snare drum. So here we go. The snare drum is a 14 by 5.5 steel drum, and it's called their Tomahawk snare drum. So let's play it first. Here we go. Great volume and crack and throat. I don't know if you know what I mean when I say throat, but it's got a bite to it. It's round, you know, in the tone of it, and it just kind of projects across, and it goes together with these toms and kick drum very well. So now let me put the snare drum into a regular groove for you so you can hear what I'm talking about. awful lot of fun to play, feels really great in the hands. You get a great rim shot to it, nice and loud, and it's sensitive to the edge and all the way to the center. And I've outfitted this drum with an Aquarian texture-coated, a regular single-ply coated head, similar to a Remo Ambassador or an Evans G1. All right, now I'll get into all the details of the edges and the hardware and the throw-off and all that kind of stuff in just a second, but I mentioned there was some news about the snare drum, and I want to share that with you right now. Mapex does a very special thing with this 5-piece shell pack. In that, you can, if you for some reason don't like the sound of the snare you get, you can trade it in for any of 4 other snare drums in the Armory line. Okay? This one here that comes with this shell pack is the Tomahawk. There's the Daisy Cutter, the Dillinger, the Peacemaker, and the Exterminator. Now this Tomahawk is a steel drum. The Daisy Cutter is a hammered steel drum. The Dillinger is a walnut drum. The Peacemaker is a maple and walnut drum. And the Exterminator is a birch and walnut drum. So you get some great options to choose from, and you can find the snare that you want exactly for your drum kit, just in case the one you get with the shell pack doesn't meet your needs. That's a very cool feature that, as far as I know, Mapex is the only company that offers that kind of thing. Now that being said, let's get into the details of the hardware and all the accompaniments that come with this drum kit. All right, details about the Tomahawk snare drum. It's a 1mm thick steel shell with rolled 45-degree bearing edges. Very cool drum. Armory tube lugs that look really great with the chrome steel shell. A very smooth feeling and very easy to use throw-off right here. Adjust the snare wires wherever you want. Again, it's very easy to use. And finally with this drum you get 2.3mm power hoops, and that's really where the loudness and that devastating rim shot, as my fine video team behind the cameras will attest to, the loudness of this drum is loud, but sounds really good. So those hoops give you that great rim shot sound and a great side stick sound. So let me demonstrate that for you really quickly. It's really cutting and very nice, very musical. Now the side stick. Loud, you can really do some great, reggae, any kind of ballady kind of thing. This drum would be great for that. Right? So all in all, a really nice sounding, punchy, nice steel snare drum to go along with this kit. Now let's get into the hardware on the rest of the drums. On all of the drums, Mapex uses what they call their SONIClear bearing edge. A really nice feature. It makes it so the drum head seats on the shell perfectly flat, no matter what head you're using. So you get much wider tuning range, and it's really easy to get the drum to pitch and to stay in pitch. So it's a really nice feature. Now to the hardware, the lugs. Really classy looking Mapex lugs with nice big fat rubber grommets. On the kick drum hoop, the claw hooks, again nice looking, and they're all rubber lined, so it protects your drum hoop. And you'll notice that the ultramarine finish is on the drum hoop as well, so that rubber lined claw hook will protect your hoop for a long time. All right, now I want to talk about the tom suspension system. Again, it's called the SONIClear, same as the bearing edge, SONIClear tom suspension system. And check out how much this tom rotates here. It's quite a bit. Your drum really hangs and resonates freely. You'll notice that underneath the 2 lugs here is where the suspension system connects. Nice rubber grommets here. It's quiet, it's smooth, and you can get your tom into wherever you want. It's very easy to manipulate and move the tom into its correct position for your playing. Quickly, let me tell you that the bass drum spurs that come on these kick drums are very nice, sturdy. They're lined with some notches on the steel there that'll get your spur back to its position every time, and it keeps your kick drum in place very nicely. The floor tom legs and the mounts on the floor tom, again, very sturdy, and your floor tom never moves. So just all in all, really nice hardware on a kit that comes in at a very nice price for 5 pieces. Let me quickly mention to you also the hardware that I'm playing. It all comes in the Mapex Armory series, just like the name of the drums. These 2 cymbal stands with my crash and my ride cymbal, the hi-hat, snare drum, and the single kick drum pedal all come in a hardware bundle. It's really cool hardware, very sturdy double brace stands. Comes with these cool black accompaniments. The black and the chrome look really great together. I pulled another couple of cymbal stands so I could have 2 extra cymbals here on my right and my left. but I definitely encourage you to check out the hardware too, because it's really nice and easy to use. And finally here, I encourage you to check out the text below this video where I have a list of everything I'm using, especially these Zildjian K Custom Special dry cymbals. They're awesome. They sound really great, along with the Drumheads, my sticks, the recording interface, all the microphones, great EV microphones I'm using for this video today. Check out the text below, links to all of the gear in case you're interested in any of this other stuff as well. There you have it, everybody, the Mapex Armory Exotic 5-piece shell pack. This drum kit in this beautiful ultramarine finish with the Tomahawk snare drum. Remember, there's other snare drums, 4 others to choose from. If you don't like the one you get, you can trade it in. There's other colors in the Armory line to check out as well. And again, I'm very excited to have Mapex under the Sweetwater roof. If you're interested in this Mapex drum kit or any other Mapex product, just contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. And thanks a lot for watching this video.